Okay, hello everyone. Today we'll talk about kids and how to motivate them to learn while they're staying at home with you and you're playing the role of the teacher. Today I have invited Sophie, who is who's doing great things with kids and helping parents to connect better with kids. Sophie, welcome.
Thank you so much, Magdalena. This is lovely. Lovely to meet you again. And lovely that you're offering this opportunity for so many people here in Luxembourg. So, well, good job. And maybe for more, who knows? So I'm really excited about sharing whatever I have learned. And I would say before I start, for about 20 years, I've worked in the field of education. Whether it was in France or internationally. I've worked for schools, for universities, for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, for international schools. Did I say that? For I would say many people around with whom I've worked really well and who's taught me a lot. And 5 years ago, after working in 7 different countries, I decided to really focus on learning how to learn and become a learning how to learn practitioner. So, which is in fact a person who enables the learner to find their ways of learning. And my wish is to work on the ecosystem at home, at work, at school, to connect through emotion, thoughts, and interaction. And my real goal here would be to engage towards a lifelong learning journey and through pleasure of learning with pleasure, in fact. So basically, that's the reason why I chose this topic, and I wanted to share this topic with you, because I've discovered that dialoguing was the number one, I would say, way to engage with a learner, with anyone, right? And dialoguing is in fact interacting, it's communicating, it's listening, it's acting. And for me, it is a little bit like, and this is what I wrote before I talked to you, this is a little bit like meeting someone for the first time. That's my metaphor. And I think that if you have this inside your head, you can go towards your child thinking, oh wow, I'm going to take my car and go on a trip for 10 minutes maybe, because in Luxembourg everything is short distance, and think about this new person I'm going to meet. So when we have in mind this idea of meeting your child for the first time, many things happen, because in fact you start thinking, oh, what do I do when I meet someone for the first time? Well, this is quite, I think maybe you're going to say, oh yeah. Or maybe you're going to say, oh, I didn't know I do that. Or maybe you do it differently. So I'd love you to tell me maybe later on. But for me, when I go for the first time and meet someone, inside my head, I check in. And I think, okay, am I fine? How am I emotionally? How is my energy? How is my confidence? I'm checking in. Yeah, I'm inside my head. And I first of all just think, what is it that I want? So that's my step number 2. I think about my intention. What actions, what intentions do I have to actually go towards that person, right? That person is your child, but this is a new meeting. This is someone you've never met before. And so you go towards this person after having your self-consciousness, of what is it that you want, how you're feeling, because it's extremely important. And then you move forward and you think, okay, so what is my intention when I go there? What is it that I want? What are my obligations, right? What is it that that needs to be done? And how am I going to do it, right? And I think, well, on a maybe you just think very quickly on a scale to 1 to 10, how motivated I am about this topic. well, if it is to meet with someone for the first time who you've chosen, then you're happy to do it. Maybe you're extremely motivated, yeah? And that's what I hope when you meet your child for the first time. If you're less motivated because you've noticed that your emotions and your intentions are going to be really, really hard, then maybe you're in your car and you might have to stop. You might have to go next, to a, in a parking lot and then breathe maybe and give it, give yourself a little bit of time before you move forward towards this new meeting. And
Can
then
I jump in here? I think it's very important that you mentioned that we need to check in ourselves, because nowadays we are so stressed. We have so many things to take care of during this isolation. So we have our own work most of the times. We have our kids' work. We have someone, our partner, our spouse, with their needs. Then and then we have to teach something. So I think it's very important that we take this time to think, okay, am I ready to start working with my kid? Because if we are upset, too stressed, if we start in this state of mind, it will not be very effective.
No, it won't be effective. And I think that's why I truly believe that step number 1 is essential, like you. And sometimes we actually rush. Of course, we all have, some jobs that really make us go into action all the time, and we're checking in with the time. But then be aware of it. If you're mindful about it, then you're going to be, I think, connecting with your child in a true way, in an authentic way. I think a more authentic. And if you tell the child, oh, well, I'm sorry, sweetheart, I'm not ready, just can you give me a little bit of time, then this is okay. And then your child might understand that this is not the right time, and then he will maybe also do it also when it's the same for him or her, so anyhow, so I agree, this is extremely important. And the third step is the connection to the other one. When you connect with someone for the first time, you truly listen to the person, right? And listening is like, for me, I love this other metaphor, which actually comes from a Buddhist approach, but it says it's like the 4 seasons. So it's first of all winter, and you need some silence, you need some space before you connect. And then you need this true listening, okay, which is a lot of reformulation. But this, when you're a coach, but reformulation would be make sure that what you understand is what the other one understands. So make sure you, understand what your child understands. Because sometimes what you believe is true might not be true for your child, like today, at lunchtime in my home, this is actually something that happened in a discussion with Dad. And then my son realized, oh, but that's not what I meant. And my husband said, oh, I'm sorry, then I didn't understand. So we have a different perception of things, and we truly believe that our perception is the right one. Yeah, and it's actually hard to perceive the other one's perception, because that's my perception, that's my way of doing it and understanding. So make sure that you go into this, I would say, I've got it in French, le printemps, this Spring. Time, thank you, springtime, which is extremely important, because springtime is the listening part. And then the summer time is actually the moment when you share. And again, when you share, it is essential that you share when the child is ready. Because sometimes we come and we impose and we just say, oh, this is it. And then the child is not ready, whether he's 4 years old or whether he's 18 or 14, he's not ready. So make sure that you observe also at that time. You observe, you take that time to let go, and take that space, the child's space. So that's That's the third part, which is essential. And if you discover at that time that your project, okay, and what needs to be done is different, that could happen, right? Then you need to find a way, right, to make your child understand that you understand his project. I heard you well, and I can give examples in the webinar or even with you in a few minutes, but you have to make sure that he hears you well, okay? He needs to hear that you understand him. That's the very important 4-season approach. So that together, then you ask each other questions. So what is it that we can do? And you know, when you meet someone for the first time, you believe that this person is knowledgeable, right? You're not going to go and see this person and think, oh, you know, I'm going there, but he doesn't know anything. She doesn't know anything. No. So it's the same. When you go towards your child, give him power. Empower him. Tell him, well, I'd like to know, what is it that you would like to do there for? Because this is what I want. This is what the teacher wants. What is it that you believe would be essential right now for you? Because the fourth step goes into the action. So how do we do it? You know, how much time do we need to do this? What is it that you're going to do to learn? How are you going? So if we take an example, maybe that would be good.
Yeah.
Because that way we could understand. So I've got 2 boys. Yeah, I've got an 11, almost 12-year-old boy, and I've got a 16-year-old boy, almost 17. And those 2 boys are in the teenage period, right? And they need space. And if I approach them and say, this is it, this is what I need to do, and give my intention, and I'm not giving him space, and I haven't checked in, then what might happen, right, is it might explode. And you can't engage anybody by this kind of... Right?
There's a tension, yeah?
There's a tension. Yeah, there won't be any intention. And so you need first to respect each other, right? Exactly the same way you would do when you meet someone for the first time. You respect this person, right? You're not going to come, I'm not going to come to you, Magdalena, and I, and give you a big kiss. I don't know you. You might look at me like, whoa, excuse me. You know, I'm not ready for that. So you've got to go towards your child exactly the same way. You have to think, I don't know the answer. He knows the answer, but I know what I want. However, I need to connect, right? I need to make him move forward. So if I connect with my emotion, and if I can connect with his emotion and his energy, then we can actually engage in a good dialogue. And then through the dialogue and the questioning, then we can move someone forward. So if I take, okay, so my first child, I won't give a name because you might be a little bit upset. But for example, for him, it's been hard to go into learning content. Okay, learning content is extremely hard. He likes to really go fast on a lot of things, and how much time, mama, it's going to take, how much time, maman, it's going to take, you know, oh no, I'm not ready, I don't want to do this, you know. So I decided, right, to start by knowing that it might emotionally be hard to move him forward. So I would check in to make sure that I'm ready to engage, right? And so if I give an example, which was an example that I had lately with him, he doesn't like reading. And so every day we have decided together that we would read. But for example, on Monday, he showed me, right, physically, that he was just not ready. So I could see from outside, even though it was the time that we had decided, that he was not ready. So I came to him and I said, in a very factual way, I said, Isao, I see from your way of being that you're not ready to move forward and read with mom. Is that right? And he said, no, I just don't feel like it. And I said, okay. Is it because you're tired? So I'm checking also his emotion, because through a behavior, there's always an emotion. We're not just behaving just to be mean.
Exactly.
Right? So then I said to him, I said, so are you tired, or is there anything you'd like to share? And he said, I'm tired, I didn't sleep well, and I just don't want to read. Okay, so do you need some time? Yeah, and I don't know when we're going to do it. And I said, all right, well, you know, right, that this is something very important for you, because the more you read, the more you feel at ease. So I'm just leaving this to you, but I'd like you to tell me, because it's important, when you would be ready. I heard you well. You said, I'm not ready. And maybe I can come within 5 minutes. I'll give you some space. I can come back within 5 minutes, and then maybe we can agree on a time, right? So of course I left, and I came back, and I said, so have you thought about it, sweetheart? Do you have a time in your head? And then he says, yeah, 2 p.m. will be fine, but now, no, I just don't want to do it. And I said, so 2 p.m. will be fine. All right. So where would you like to do it? And he said, well, in the bedroom. And maybe I can do this and I can do that. And I said, perfect. So he started moving forward, thinking about the how. And that's what I'm interested in. I'm interested in how he's going to do it. And he actually was telling me without me asking him.
Amazing.
Then we came together at 2 p.m. and he was quite tired on that day. And I said, you're still tired, but are you ready? He said, yeah, if we only do 45 minutes. We ended up reading for 1 hour and 30 minutes. Because he was ready. He just decided to do it.
Yeah, it's amazing. I love the concept, because what you really emphasize is that you have to treat your kid with this curiosity.
Yes.
As if you are treating any other person you meet. Exactly. And not, run into some presumptions that you have about this person. We may feel like mothers, fathers, that we know our kids the best. We know better than they know.
Yeah.
Which is not
which
true.
Is not true. Which is not true. In a way it's true. We know
in a way
them.
Yes,
we know them,
but our role actually is to help them to understand and discover themselves and their learning style. And if we keep imposing, they will never learn how to learn.
That's exactly
themselves.
Right. Absolutely. And the idea is really about, in fact, I think that the idea is to think about it as if you had a desire to co-design something. And if you have in your mind the idea that learning is for a long life learning journey, and you need to kind of interact as if it was a coincidence, or as if we were co-author, then it works differently. It's absolutely different. But I'm not telling you it's easy, right? It's not easy. It's something that you have yourself to learn. And every day I learn. Sometimes I lose it. Last night we had a big, not fight, we had a little crisis, but again, I was fine. So I checked in, and I was ready to kind of come down on the incident. And I mean, that's not the right word, but to but when I'm not ready, then I'm not ready. And it took me some years to actually get and improve, to get better and better. And when I'm exhausted, sometimes I can lose it. We are emotional. We are so emotional. And 90% of what we do is unconscious. So the more we will become conscious about it, the more we will in fact be ready to engage with the child. So it's us before the other one. It's a little bit like on the plane. when you've got to put your mask on first and then give it to your child. It's the same.
Exactly.
So that's how you engage, I believe. That's the way I do it, and that's what I would love to share today with you. And you can give it a try. You can come to the webinar, on Friday at 2 p.m. Because there will be a discussion, or I don't like the word discussion, an exchange or some interaction, because I think maybe some other people have different ways of doing it. But
so it will be on the same topic, the webinar
same topic.
next.
Yes, same topic, and I will.
So
go
what's
deeper.
exactly the date?
The 24th of April. I get lost with the time, and it's at 2 p.m. And I will send you, if you'd like, the Zoom. What is it? Address.
Link? Yeah, address.
Link.
Okay.
Thank you. So that you can go on Zoom. It's a free webinar, and it's just because I think right now it's extremely hard. We're like bottled up. We love each other, but it's hard to have actually less space. Even though we may have some space in our home, we might need to have
emotional space.
Emotional space. Thank you. Absolutely. So I won't touch too much on the emotion. I think I'd like to go even into the cognition part, but I think it needs to be balanced. It's not only cognition, it's everything: emotion, body, cognition, everything. We're a whole. We're not only this and only that. But so in about 45 minutes, I won't be able to touch on a lot of things, but I will share as much as I can, and maybe if people need more, we can connect on a one-to-one, private. So
okay, that would be great.
I hope it was enough.
Thank you very much, Sophie. That was amazing. I learned, I think, a lot. I think I will definitely give it a try, given that I have a 7-year-old with a lot of homework still to be done for the next month to come, because we have still 1 month in front of us. Thank you very much, and I hope to speak to you soon on other family
occasions
topics. Yes.
Yeah. Oh yes, absolutely. Some more topics. Well, have a lovely evening, Magdalena. Yeah. Thank you so much.
You too. Thank you.
Bye bye.